And of course, a lot of things that we should be discussing right there. But of course, Samuel Eto'o sends in a resignation, probably to say he is not going to be the president of Cameroon. But again, the executive in the federation say, no, you are going to be the boss right there.
Okay, people are running away from being bosses here and there. And then also, viewer would like to introduce Mr. Benson, who is also right here with me. He seems very excited, smiling ear to ear. I don't know whatever it is that has excited him. Maybe
Susie, I've loved the way how you are doing it in style. You are the in charge yourself. And yesterday I was at St. Joseph's College on Bati playing ground, and we normally give a lot in local content. I was following the 4th Division League of Arua City, particularly the game between Airfield and the team Ombati Sports Club. The name has been shifted from Ombati Massacre to Ombati Sports Club, and the viewers will get to know the details as we continue with the show. You're
talking about a 4th league today, it is a very big clash. I don't know if I should call it a Salim Saleh derby, because the two teams that will face themselves there today, I use Salim Saleh as the home ground. That is going to be Niva Football Club tussling it out against Leo Football Club, and then also the other more of the local content that will be coming through. And right there, Owen will take us through some of the contents that we'll discuss into the minutes.
Before, of course, we go to the rest, an update from there. How did the game end at the 4th division is where we're starting from before we cross over to the days, of course, games that are also moving in there. But of course, top stories that are right there. How did it end?
Yes, it was a very beautiful game in the pitch. I can confirm to you and also to the viewers, the team called Airfield Football Club went on to thump Ombati Sports Club by 5 goals to 2. They scored 4 goals in the first half of the show. Then reaching the second half, they added 1. Then the 2 consolation goals for the team of Ombati Sports Club had to come in the second stanza of the game. And the team called Airfield is still unbeaten out of the 7 games they have played, only drawing once and winning all the 6. That means they're having something of around 19 points to their names. And the team of Ombati Sports Club, they're also doing somehow okay, because you look at the log right now, they are not deep in the relegation zone. And you look at how the game went in terms of the beauty. Oh, I can confirm to people, the team called Airfield, they demonstrated a very good football, beautiful football. You will really realize that these boys, they do train together, they have the coordination, they have the partnership. But the challenge, the greatest challenge for the team of Ombati Sports Club is that the boys, to me, they have not been training together. Just you saw how they were playing, you will really realize that these boys, truly, they have not been training together. But the scoreline was also massive, thumping a team away from home by 5 goals to 2, shows that this is a team the rest of the teams will have to eye. But for Ombati, this is their first time to play in 4th Division League. They are still an amateur into the league. But for Airfield, they have played for a number of seasons into the league. They have ever crossed the border to the zones, but they have never played the game of Western Nile Regional League. So we are waiting to see how things are going to transpire. Like Susie said, that one wasn't the only game in 4th Division League of Arua City. We still have got interesting games to be played today. Others also took place yesterday, but the result have not reached to our desktop.
Okay, and now that desktop here is what we're talking about. We have top stories on our desk. Still, we have a lot that we need to discuss. And with the biggest story coming in from Africa, the African giants, probably to talk about Cameroon in particular, have said no to their president who wants to resign, who of course had tendered in a resignation. Now, Samuel Eto'o tendered in a resignation in a meeting that they had called upon why the team did not do well in the Africa Cup of Nations, and then he had to tender in a resignation and saying that he is standing down. Remember, in December, he has not taken even long. This was a very big one. In Yaoundé, that's where the games were. I mean, the meeting was. And when Samuel Eto'o saw at least a little bit of if you've been following so closely, you will see that they are sayings or their allegations about this federation, saying they have embezzled money, there is corruption in the team, and Samuel Eto'o does not want to be attached to this. And they said he was also involved in match fixings right here and there. And this, as a former Inter Milan, Barcelona player, he says no, this will give him a bad direction, because the arrow were all pointing unto him, and he feels he needed to resign to make sure that he is not in this. But again, the board says, no, we don't want you to resign. What do you think he should do now?
I think why he wants to resign is duly maybe because of the pressure that is coming through, because of some of the allegations that are coming through. We've seen a lot of people that are in charge. We've seen a lot of people that are in office that always resign because of the pressure coming through, because of the allegations coming through. As you know, it's quite depressing, and it hurts so much when people allege issues on you, issues that you definitely know you're not doing them. This is not only, by the way, internationally. Recently, there are rumors that are moving around that the president of Ondupaka had equally also resigned. So to me, I think that is because there are a lot of issues that have equally been alleged on him here and then, all that. So basically, I think Eto wants to resign because of the allegations. But then, it's the same people, I could say it's the same people that brought in the allegations that equally also want him to be there, meaning the allegations haven't been true because maybe the positives that actually he has been doing have outshined the negatives, because definitely as a human being, in every other aspect, in every other way you live life, there are always the positives and negatives. So trust me, maybe why they want him to be there is simply because his positives have outweighed the few allegations that are probably they have brought on him.
Benson, if you look at this, a couple of things have been incited on him. One of them is the match fixing, and then there's the abuse of power. Then there's that physical threats that he is said to have imposed in there, inciting and violence, and at the same time spreading false information in Cameroon is what is being alleged upon this very, very president of Cameroon. Now, that's where he says, maybe this is too much for me. I need to step down and put something forward in there, but which of course has shown a very different direction. Probably now, who next for Cameroon? Because for him, he went also just smoothly, but again, the executives are saying, no, we don't need you to step down.
You know, Samuel Eto'o has been an iconic figure for the country called Cameroon. Up to now, he's still one of the iconic figures as far as managing football is concerned. And you know, each and every time we discuss football as any sporting activity, brand matters a lot. And he is an individual. And there's been an individual, you need to keep your brand. And there is no need for you to damage your reputation. And once people start to allege things on you that you're kind of this person, it pains you a lot. And one fact I've loved about that issue, coming after that issue, is the colleague members are saying that no, you should not resign. That means the allegations might be false, and at the same time, the colleague members feel that Samuel Eto'o is still vital to the Federation of Cameroon. That's what I can say. To me, I think those allegations, false allegations, because if those were to be facts, I think the colleague members were not going to say that we still feel that you should be the one to lead our country. Such kind of things happen, but it also hurts, it pains once people start to damage your reputation like that.
This is a very big president who said that he had started development of, I think, 4 stadiums in that is Cameroon to host the FIFA World Cup. Of course, looking forward to see that this needs to be in Africa one of these days. And of course, that is the initiative. And these people said, no, don't go. First finish what you had started, and of course, make sure that you will continue with the development. That means they believe in Eto'o, who has been a little bit in there. Although, of course, when you're in power, obviously, very many allegations will always come. You're going to be, not everyone will like you, not everyone will love you. You will have haters, you will have enemies, you will have different, because that's how exactly the politics of football is. But all in all, would you say he should step down, or you would say he should continue with the journey?
I think for the fact that the same people have come up to actually go against his resignation, if he stays in office, but then there is being forced to stay, and yet you don't want to stay. At the end of the day, basically you not perform when you're pushed to. We've seen a lot of players, we've seen a lot of people that have been forced to stay where they don't want to stay, and at the end of the day, someone sits and says, okay, since you're the one who wanted Bonda, let me just do now my let us kind of stuff. So basically, I think that to his own interest and for the interest of the federation, I think they should just allow him go because he has decided to go and he has already set his mind to go.
A multi-billion money spent and of course got by a Ugandan star player Travis Mutiaba, finally being unveiled as of course a Zamalek player by the Egyptian club right there now. Zamalek Sports Club did announce the signing of Ugandan midfielder, of course, calm winger by the names of Travis Mutiaba as their star, who is going to be with them for 4 years in this season up to the end of the contract. And of course, he will be putting more into play for that is the Zamalek side right there. Kudos and credits go to that is him and the team, of course, his parent club that has brought him there. Sports Club Village, one of the teams that you could be talking about, and the academy, and of course have brought in this player to a very big. But what beats my understanding and what I've loved is that this player is going to get, in fact, his deal has gotten him 2.8 billion Ugandan shillings. That is for him, and of course you will be seeing that 530,000 US dollars, which is around 2 billion, that will be going to his mother club right there, or not mother club but parent club, that is where he had crossed over, not Sports Club Villa.
First of all, you look at that offer, it's a lucrative offer. You talk about this particular player, Travis Mutiaba. Who doesn't know him? Who doesn't know his playing style? He's a player who has got the skills, including the brother Muzamil Mutiaba. And actually, when in the school ball games we are going here in Arua City, by then it was in Mbale Senior Secondary School that hosted, they had that good combination with the Senke Mawa. And still speaking about him, to me, he deserves such kind of a lucrative offer because he's a guy who really knows how to play football. And at the same time, you talk about the club he has signed for Zamalek. Zamalek is one of the biggest clubs we have in the African continent alongside Mamelodi Sundowns. I can say right now, you go to Egypt, Zamalek is competing with Al Ahly. The money is there. What is only remaining for him is he has signed the money, and he has to do something so vital with that amount of money he has received, and at the same time that money will not excite him so much, and he has actually taken a step up front as far as football is concerned. And we have seen Ugandan players going to Egypt and coming back. We hope that going to Zamalek, of course, will pave way for him further, and further maybe end up in Europe.
Exactly. Now, of course, his deal was worth 750,000 US dollars. If you break that down, just like say 2.8 billion. And of course, according to reports that he will be earning around 530,000 US dollars. If you convert that into Ugandan money, it is around 2 billion that he will be taking through as his, that's like a sign-on fee, and that will, remember, he will go with his agents. So now, agents, that's where it comes. Players with agents, I think, are reaping big, but again, how much do they gain out of agency?
Basically, I think players with agents, yeah, they are reaping big, and secondly, it also depends on the agent, Owen, that you are dealing with. There are a lot of agents that have come through to, of course, to try to help. Should I say help or scam? I don't know. That have come down to try talking out to these players that are very good in whatever it is that they're doing. And then at the end of the day, we don't see any fruit yielding. We don't see any positivity that has ever come through from any of these agents. But then there are very few agents that have come across that basically they're known, and whichever club they go to discuss a footballer's issue is, like, trust me, it always goes through and it yields big, and they're always transparent. We know, and we definitely always see the monies are written very well on both the agent, the club, and also the player. That is where now you find out that this player goes out smoothly, and every other party gets to benefit, not unlike the sagas that we have been seeing over time here and there. So how the agent also benefits, or to me, it depends on the agent, just like Adaliaron said, it depends on the agent that you as a player that you're dealing with. And if you're dealing with the right agent, trust me, you're going to reap big. Your club that you're living is equally also going to reap big. Will definitely not be seeing any of the sagas that we have been seeing in a lot of the players that have been wanting to cross from Uganda, crossing outside to, of course, pursue bigger dreams.
18 years old, Travis Mutiaba is the player we're talking about and who has crossed over. Remember, in the 12 months, I should say last year, he has been one of the biggest names being talked and being looked for and being tapped by very many players. But of course, his patience and of course his discipline in the game has shown him what exactly he needed to do, and he has ripped big right there. Now, of course, this is a player who has capped 8 times for Uganda national senior team, the Cranes, and of course he has done a lot. Mutiaba was of course introduced as the Super Division football by that is the country's most successful entity. I'm talking about Sports Club Villa before he went to that is Georgia and became of course one of the biggest or the icing sugar on that very cake, as you could be saying. Daimo is where also he went next, and at last, yeah, he agreed that that is a very good team that he has gone now to Zamalek, and he will be making sure that he proves people wrong maybe by playing the best. Just like you saw Senke going to Italy, and of course he also is doing well that side at Lucera Calcio after of course making that. So we are waiting, we're following every player, but of course I think this raises issues about Ugandan football that when you are focused, when you're determined, you can achieve what exactly you need from the world of football.
Oh, and it's true. If you talk about Ugandan football, most of the people, they take Ugandan football for joke. And I want to give an example with some of the integral clubs we have in Uganda. I can give an example with the Sports Club Villa. Sports Club Villa, each and every season, they are known of always nurturing these boys. Last season, they nurtured a boy called Charles Bale. You look at how he's performing. They sold him to Rwandan Premier League to a club called Rayon Sports. Currently, he's performing very well. And also, this other defender who went to Tanzanian Premier League playing for Yanga. Each and every season, you always see a star coming from the team of Sports Club Villa. Not only them, I give them as an example. You talk about teams like KCA, you talk about Vipers, and once they go outside like this, they will always keep on lifting the badges of the previous clubs they have been playing for, and at the same time they will lift the club, they will lift the flag of our country, and also will make our continent Africa to sign at large. I think this is a plus. This is also a task to the rest of the clubs we have in Ugandan football at large, to see that they always focus on nurturing these boys, because anytime the deal strikes through, they will also be one of the beneficiaries. That's what I can say. Ugandan football is there each and every season. They are trying to see that they step up front.
Okay, a very big one. And of course now this is one big thing that we should be talking about as the Africa Cup of Nations still continues with another interesting momentum. And we did say tomorrow will be another one for the semi-finals, where you'll be seeing teams are pushing there. But of course, out of all these, 6 coaches have been sacked in the due course of the Africa Cup of Nations after they failed to perform to the expectation of the different FAs or federations in the different countries. And of course, I want us to give a little bit a look at some of the coaches that probably have been fired and have been sacked. One of them is, of course, Balde of Algeria, who was sent packing in right away amidst all the challenges that, of course, they faced in there. Egypt also did send away their coach, by the way. Looking forward to see that he didn't make sure that things were in demand by the names of Vittorio Riu, who was also a big name into that is the Africa Cup of Nations. Then you did see the team of also Ghana sending away Chris Houghton, who of course was also another big one. To talk about then Jalal Kedir of Tunisia also did send, he was sent packing. Not forgetting, of course, Adel Armochi of Moche of Tanzania, the neighbors here. Really, did Tanzania also expect to go far? Anyway, that is also another thing. Right there, then of course, Jean-Louis Gassati of Ivory Coast. Remember, they were doing poorly. They had to send him packing because they needed to make sure that they reached there. And where they are, I think it has yielded for them sending away coaches and bringing back glories. Does it work?
Sometimes it works. By the way, you have just given a case in point of Ivory Coast that they sent away a coach, and here they are. Into there is the semi-finals. We're waiting to see if they will go past. There is a Congo tomorrow, or if they will be ejected as well. But for the fact that they are home, and in that question we are discussing now is that sending away coaches, does it yet? Owen, this question has both sides. One, sometimes it yields a positive, and sometimes it brings in a lot of negativity. We've seen in a lot of clubs that have sacked coaches that still don't perform. I guess in point is Chelsea, but we are discussing here AFCON. So basically, most of will not be having a direct example of most of the coaches that have been shown the exit in AFCON, because most of the coaches that have been chased have also gone home together with their teams from there is AFCON, which means we are only left with I think one coach. There is for Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, that we have seen in the positive aspect of that they just in their coach, and here they are. They've come far. I would say they've come far because a few countries have reached the level where they are right now, and this is a point where every other country that of course qualified in for AFCON would really want to reach to. So for me, right now I would say maybe they did the right thing to send away their coach.
Benson, I'll be asking, which coach would you miss in the Africa Cup of Nations come next time? Because I'm seeing 6 being axed.
Yeah, I may mention the sacked coach of Ghana, that's Hafton, because this coach has worked with the country Ghana. And speaking about the coaches that have been sacked, Rui Victoria, the head coach of Egypt, sometimes they look at your past performances before they ask you as they sack you. And normally when a tournament begins in Africa, whereas mostly it's the African Cup of Nations and also World Cup. You know, there are some countries, people always be demanding a lot from them in terms of performances, like the countries that have already been knocked out of the competition, big match guys. People always expect a lot from them based on their previous history, and at the same time, the kind of game they always demonstrate in the pitch. In case in point is Algeria. What has Algeria done after lifting African Cup of Nations in 2019? Up to now, they have not done anything. To me, sacking their head coach is a good one. They need to try with a new gaffer. What about Egypt? Egypt, of late, they have been deceiving their fans. I think also very good to see that they go away with Rui Victoria. What about Ghana? Unlike those days of late, Ghana can easily be beaten by any other opponent. So Ghana, to me, they have also done a very good decision. And also Tunisia. Tunisia, you compare them with Morocco, Algeria. These are countries people always expect them to go very far. So to me, it comes in terms of the performance you always put, and in most cases you see most of these African countries, they always sack the coaches maybe after a tournament like this, whereas when a tournament is going on. To me, good decisions being taken by the various federations.
And now federations have done. 2019 Cup winner, or African Cup of Nations winner, Algeria, did also the axe. Do you think Jamal Belmadi is one name that this Africa Cup of Nations would miss?
Yeah. He's a very good coach. He has got the experience. He knows all the players of Algeria. But one mistake he did was also not summoning some of the players like Said Ben Rafima. A very good player he is, but he missed it. And sometimes once you have that ideology that I know these players, I can do it, I have ever been doing it, sometimes you will see yourself spoiling things. Who expected in Nigeria, not in Nigeria, that Algeria to have gone out very early like that? And I did say it's like Real Madrid failing to qualify for UEFA Champions League. Obviously, the coach who has been behind the team will get sacked. And Algeria failing to go past the group stages, automatically I expected him to be sacked.
Okay, 5 years down the road, as we talk right now, it's all about the Sekafa. Of course, a Senior Challenge Cup that has been in contention, but of course in a pause, I'm talking about, this has not been in place. I'm talking about the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup. Now, after the 5 years, it is already indicated that it is going to be returning back on card. I'm talking about the Sekafa Challenge Cup. Now, the Council of East Africa and Central Africa have already sat down to see that this comes right there. And officially, the bidding process for that is willing members has been put in order, and for any club to probably see that they get themselves right away. We are hoping this. February 1st, 2024 was the meeting, and this will be closed until 16th of February. So clubs that will be ready to host, and for countries, and of course the rest of the things that are coming in there. So when we look at this, Senior Challenge Cup has been one of the biggest things that everyone has Yand. Uganda has been one of the names that has been a pioneer, and they have been doing very good. They have won it several times in the Sekafa Cup. What are we expecting this time round?
I think taking 5 years without hosting this or without taking part in this, and then also sitting down, the legislators sitting down and bringing back the same idea is quite a very good one. Meaning, basically we've been seeing the ladies take part in this, and they've always come out winners. So what I have to say is that now that it is said to come back, the ladies equally have to get down into training and do serious business. And this, I think, is very evident in that the friendlies, I should say, that Uganda is taking part in, especially the ladies, with Botes down there as their coach, is quite a very good one. And if they continue like that, if they continue to remain in training, if they continue to have a lot of build-up games, trust me, if the senior Sekafa Challenge Cup returns, I would still give it out to our ladies, because they have always not disappointed, and this is quite a very good one, because the 5 years was quite a very long one. It could have definitely it could have bring in a lot of setbacks here and there. It brings in a lot of gaps, because I always tell people that football changes every other season. It changes every month. The style of play, but everything about football, everything about the game of play changes. So 5 years, it's really going to affect them. But if they get into training, trust me, we should be expecting a positive.
The question will be, what could be the problem for it to be 5 years down the road that no game has been played in the Sekafa? One thing that we should be asking right there. But all in all, I want to move away from the Sekafa region and of course still continue with Ugandan football. Where of course you see that Lugazi are still doing reinforcement. They did last day the reinforcement, and one of the biggest they have unveiled now is Alvin Birungi, who has been the name that they are talking about. They have brought in Alvin Birungi, and Alvin Birungi will be the name that you really need to put in there. What do you expect from Lugazi?
You see, transfer which always comes in the middle of the season, especially after the first round, is always for the clubs to prepare. Other clubs prepare to avoid relegation, others prepare to see that they finish in a better position. But teams like Lugazi alongside Boma, they are doing so well. They finished the first phase very well. On top of there, Lugazi right now, they feel that this is the right time for them to see that they get to Uganda Premier League. And we also saw them coming up with a coach in the middle of the season, and now adding new players into their system. I think this time, right now, you look at the table standing, I think they are second on the log. If not second, somewhere third on the log. They feel that behind the Police, next is them, and that one cannot come automatic or as easily. The only thing they need to do is to see that they add players, not only adding players, but players that have experience, players that are known, players that can be able to change the team. But to me, if that is the business they are doing right now, they are capable of joining maybe the likes of Police, Mbale Heroes, in sealing the promotion to the Uganda Premier League next season.
Susie, looking at Lugazi, they're still doing reinforcement. We've seen very many players. The Solomon Accordis, they have put in there, they've added more players. Probably in due course, we're going to see very many, because Ndeje is releasing very many. We did talk about them, Police signing one from Ndeje. So now, Ndeje's players that have gone off, some of them would be crossing over to different, because clubs are yet signed, but I know very many players have been signed.
I think Lugazi doing in a lot of signings, and the clubs within Uganda still doing in unveilings here and there could be possibly because we saw Ndeje pulling off the league, and then that is in big league, and then UPL we equally also saw Arahil being pulled off. There is the league. So basically, some of these players.
For them, they went away. They said we are bankrupt.
That was Ndeje who pulled off. Then I said Arahil was being pulled off. Yes.
Because they are not yet. They will come back.
Which date? Because
the date has been
was 26th January
from the federation.
It already went down.
It has not been officially communicated. We are still waiting for.
Yeah, because tentatively they were still out of the fixture.
They are still oscillating somewhere.
We saw Sports. No, I'm sorry, but we saw Sports Club Villa last season, starting even in the mid of after people had played like 5 games. So maybe we can also expect that. But for Arahil, I still say the issue is between ownership, giving the right person who is the CEO, giving the accountability, bank statement of what exactly, how they have been using them funds, Have people being paid? Those are some of the things that need to be worked upon right there. So those are some of the things that are there. But all in all, I want to say it's a big challenge that we are looking into, and we shall be waiting to see how exactly. Now, when we come back, we shall be giving you more stories about the golf that is going on. We shall also be having the English Premier League and, of course, other leagues internationally right here on West Nile Television. Well, let's take a break. We'll be coming back as shortly as we give you the